Hello there, my name is Fritz Clausen, and I am a city planner with Denver Community Planning and Development. This presentation was originally given at the Near Southeast Area Plan Rezoning Implementation Open House on April 23rd, and this is a version that we are posting on the project website for anyone interested who was not able to make it to the meeting. In this presentation, we will be going over the background of the project, what changes we are recommending, and how you can learn more and share your thoughts and questions. Okay, let's start with a little bit of background. In 2023, the Near Southeast Area Plan was approved by City Council. The plan was adopted following a nearly 2-year community process and outlines a vision for the neighborhoods of Goldsmith, Indian Creek, University Hills North, Virginia Village, and Washington Virginia Vale, and provides guidance and recommendation for land use, urban design, housing, mobility, parks, and the local economy for the next 20 years in this area. The plan covers a portion of southeast Denver, roughly between Alameda Avenue and Yale Avenue, and between Colorado Boulevard and Quebec Street, and the city boundary to the east as shown on the map. Now that the Near Southeast Area Plan is adopted, we are looking at implementing some of the land use recommendations from the plan. This diagram on the slide shows on the left the planning process, where we work with the community to write a plan, which could be like a citywide plan, like Blueprint Denver, or it could be a neighborhood plan, in the case of the Near Southeast Area Plan. The plan informs future city decisions, including things like building bike lanes or improving parks. In this case, for Near Southeast, we are currently working to implement some of the regulatory recommendations, and more specifically, the rezonings that could help us achieve some of the land use recommendations of the plan. To be able to effectively implement our land use recommendations, we have a process that is called legislative rezoning. A rezoning is a process that changes the rules for the types of uses and buildings allowed on a given property by changing its zone district. While in most cases, rezonings are often initiated by a property owner, in this case, the rezoning is led by the city because it is a large-scale rezoning looking at implementing a recently approved plan. If you take a closer look at Blueprint Denver and the Near Southeast Area Plan, they both recommend legislative rezonings as a tool to implement our plans. In community planning and development, we are moving towards integrating proactive rezoning concurrently or soon after the neighborhood plans are adopted. While this rezoning will ensure the right zoning is in place when development or redevelopment is proposed in the future, the rezoning will not require property owners to make changes to their existing building until they choose to do so. So now let's take a look at how we are proposing to implement these land use recommendations from the Near Southeast Area Plan. We've coordinated closely with council members to identify the potential rezonings we are sharing with you and are focusing the proposal on two main goals from the plan. First, to significantly improve design standards in centers and corridors, for example, Colorado Boulevard, Evans Avenue, and Leetsdale Drive. And second, rezone properties out of our old code, also called former Chapter 59, and into our new code. And I will explain further what this means in the next few slides. Here, we would like to note that while we are proposing to rezone properties within centers and corridors and properties that are currently in former Chapter 59 districts, in most cases, we are not proposing to increase the allowed heights, and we are not looking at providing significant changes in entitlement. While we are focusing on these two areas for the proposed rezoning, there are other recommendations in the plan that could warrant future rezoning. Okay, now let's take a closer look at the recommendations from the Near Southeast Area Plan that talk to centers and corridors. Here we have a couple of examples of our recommendations from the plan. The land use recommendations state that we should ensure new development will have quality design and that properties should be rezoned into an appropriate district that will require high quality design standards either through applicant-driven rezonings or city-led legislative rezonings. They also state that we should require high quality design for new construction and renovations in centers and corridors, and that we should do so by applying appropriate zone districts that prohibit auto-oriented building forms that allow for drive-throughs, car washes, and gas stations. In line with those recommendations, our proposal is to rezone the centers and corridors as identified in Blueprint Denver into mixed-use districts that require stronger design outcomes. You can learn more about the specific districts through the project website, but most are in our Suburban Mixed Use A series. This slide shows an image of what the current zone districts in the centers and corridors allow right now. We can see that a lot of the development existing in these areas is auto-oriented and uninviting for pedestrians. The rezoning proposal will allow for future development in the centers and corridors that is more welcoming and pedestrian-friendly by requiring buildings to be closer to the street, with parking in the back, and drive-through uses to be located behind buildings. Rezoning would not prohibit drive-throughs or gas station uses, but it would require the building design to be more inviting and safe for pedestrians. Our second set of recommendations reference properties that are currently zoned in districts from our old code or Chapter 59 zone. Let's go over a quick explanation of what Chapter 59 is. Former Chapter 59 is the city's old zoning code. In 2010, it was replaced by the Denver zoning code, our current code. But not all properties were brought into the new code. About 20% of Denver and 24% of the near southeast area has retained Chapter 59 zoning. The near southeast area plan has very clear guidance and gives 4 reasons why we should rezone all properties that are still in former Chapter 59 zoning into the Denver zoning code. I will now walk you through these 4 reasons using examples. First, there is a lack of predictability for property owners and the public. For example, the old code contains rules and regulations that are sometimes so old that they don't align with our modern standards for how neighborhoods should be developed. Therefore, property owners and the public may not understand what standards apply to a property, since the old code does not follow the standards or naming conventions you see elsewhere in the Denver zoning code. An example of this is the old code's R3 districts. This is a more intense residential district in that code, but the use of 3 is a general reference to that intensity and does not mean development that is limited to 3 stories. SMU3 in the Denver zoning code is a residential district that allows a maximum of 3 stories, making expectations clear to neighbors and other stakeholders. This plan also references the lack of predictability, because in this area, there are many different custom zoning districts from the old code, also known as PUDs or planned unit developments, each with their own set of rules that make it complicated for residents to look up and understand what is possible on a property. Second, the old code is not flexible over time. For example, when we now make updates to the zoning codes, those regulations don't always apply to old code properties. That means that the properties in the old code don't benefit from the many modern updates to the Denver zoning code since its adoption in 2010. In many cases, the customization in the old code zoning may also prohibit small changes, like building an addition, for example. Third and fourth, developing in the old code is an unpredictable process and is more difficult to administer over time. While the Denver zoning code has a standard set of public notice and review requirements for various processes, such as rezoning or applying for site plan approval, the old code and many custom zone districts based on it reference review bodies that no longer exist, unclear process steps, and forms that have not been used in decades. If a property has very specific old code zoning, it can take a very long time to understand the intent and application of something written so long ago. Similarly, it's very difficult for our staff to interpret and enforce some of those old and unique site-specific zonings. For these 4 reasons, it can be very difficult, time-consuming, and expensive for individual property owners to make even small changes to their properties, and it can be difficult for community members to understand what's possible on a site. Moving these old code districts into the Denver zoning code will provide more predictability to everyone and improve the process for property owners and city staff. Now, going back to the recommendations of the plan, they clearly state that former Chapter 59 zoning is outdated and that we should bring properties into the Denver zoning code to ensure the latest improvements to the code apply to help achieve the plan's goals. It goes further in encouraging city-led rezonings as appropriate in large residential and commercial properties that have retained former Chapter 59 zoning. In this map, you could see our proposal to rezone all properties shown in yellow that currently have former Chapter 59 zoning into the Denver zoning code. While the proposed districts vary by location, the proposal would follow the guidance of the near southeast area plan for future land uses, and in most cases, it would match closely to the currently allowed uses and density. You can learn more about the zoning under consideration for a particular site by visiting our website or talking to a planner in our office hours. Okay, here are our next steps. In the coming weeks, we will gather all the feedback from our open house and other events, office hours, and other comments to inform and refine our rezoning proposal. We anticipate the rezoning will be formally submitted later this spring or summer, and the public hearings before Planning Board and City Council should be scheduled for sometime during late summer or early fall. We have options on the project website, denvergov.org/near southeast plan, for you to send your comments and questions, or to sign up for office hours and come talk one-on-one with a planner either virtually or in person. This concludes the presentation. Thank you for your time and interest in the Near Southeast Area Plan Rezoning Implementation.